A city within a city. It almost sounds like something out of a fiction novel, because stuff like that doesn't actually exist, right? Wrong. Believe it or not, this actually does exist. Now, you may be saying to yourself, it's probably just some kind of thrown together by a few politicians in some country I've never heard of kind of thing, to attract tourists. But no, this is not a gag city. It's an actual city that you've probably heard of and maybe even been to. Westminster Abbey, St. Paul's Cathedral, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, yes, is London, England. Now, it's often been debated whether London or the City of London is the better place. Now, I'm not sure which way I'd go, but I think London is probably the nicer of the two. Confused? Good. That's the idea. 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire was spreading across Europe and made their way into present-day United Kingdom. After doing the Roman thing and basically just killing everyone they came across, they decided to establish a city on the Thames River. The city was named Londinium. After establishing a trading post, starting an economy, and creating a government, they decided they wanted to protect everything that they had built. So they decided to build walls around their city, Londinium. It's because of these walls that there are now 2 Londons. Even after the Romans left, as many rulers came and went, the walls remained, protecting everything inside. This allowed the city to become a very prosperous area because of their trading system, and it was not disrupted by war. When William the Conqueror made his way across the land, he found Londinium hard to conquer because it's obviously not like the farmers in the fields that he's used to conquering. Instead of trying to take it down, he came up with a resolution. He'd let the city handle its own affairs as long as they recognized him as their king. And they agreed. In order to compete with Londinium, he established a competing city down the Thames River called Westminster. Over the centuries, it grew and swallowed up towns while Londinium remained in the confines of its walls. Eventually, Westminster surrounded all of Londinium. But Londinium was still allowed to handle its own affairs. After a few decades, the name Londinium was shortened simply to London, and then to the City of London. Fast forward even more in time, and people just started calling the whole urban collection around it London. Eventually, Westminster and its surrounding towns decided to just all join together, amalgamate into one city, and call the whole thing London. The City of London has many special traditions and rites, such as a ceremony where the Mayor of London has to ask the Right Honourable, the Lord Mayor of London, yes, that's his name, if the Mayor of Big London can enter the city. The City of London also has a Member of Parliament whose purpose it is to make sure that the city's rights are upheld. Elections in the City of London are probably some of the most fascinating in the world. They're every business person's dream. This is because corporations and medieval guilds are a huge part of them. Although the city does not have borders, it still owns land and monuments outside of these borders. Examples are the Epping Forest, Old Bailey, Springfield Market, and as pictured, Tower Bridge. Probably the most interesting part about the City of London is the government. It's so old, it actually predates the creation of England, Scotland, and Wales. The list of people who've governed the area is over 700 long, and it spans back almost 1,000 years. The city is actually so old that there are no records of when it was born. One of the things that I find most interesting is that corporations actually get votes, and a lot. They get about 3/4 of the total number of votes in the whole city. The bigger the company, the more votes they get. The reasoning behind this is that for every person in the city, there are 43 commuters every single day, for a total of 300,000 people coming in and out of the city every day. Now, as complicated and crazy as the city's politics are, it's still just 1 square mile of land in the world. In the middle of London, so a city within a city. So next time you're in London, look for this crest. Then you know that you're inside the world's smallest city.